Saturday, July 16th is Meadowlands Pace Night at the Meadowlands Racetrack. They have 14 live races, 2 guaranteed pick fours. We'll have a 10% rebate on exotic bets on DRF Bets, along with free harness IPPs. Matt and I are going to talk about the $125,000 guaranteed all stakes pick four. It starts in race 9 and leads off with the $175,000 Dorothy Houghton Memorial. It's a field of 10 led by Test of Faith.
We're going to be starting off this sequence with a large favorite from the rail of Test of Faith, and a deserving favorite. And I have to believe that she'll be a key on a lot of tickets. So I'm not going to try to get cute and try to beat her, but if you can beat her, you'll be looking at a nice fat ticket right off the bat. But she's clearly the most accomplished, and once the dust settles, she'll be making a move to the front, I would imagine. And the race should be over from there, I would think, at odds on. If you can't beat her, join her. I don't see a horse that's strong enough right now to pass her.
I'm in 100% agreement. She's clearly been at the top of the division and has moved there over time. She maybe was a little bit more conservative early in the year, but now, I mean, her recent races have just been absolutely spectacular. Even the one where she lost 2 back, it was a gigantic effort. If someone's going to beat her, Racine Bell makes a lot of sense. Michaela was really good last time, parked out every step and still ended up finishing third. Lion Sentinel, was super last year, hasn't really found it all this year. Firestart Hanover starting to pick it up a little. I mean, those are the other contenders, but this looks like a brush and crush for Test of Faith, in my opinion, and it seems like you agree, Matt.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement. So we'll take the 2 to 5 and move on, basically, and hope we get by. And it is what it is. She deserves to be a heavy favorite, and I think she'll get it done.
Well, moving on, we'll go to the $500,000 William R. Houghton Memorial. They're on the pace, and there's 11 of them in this field. And we lead off with, of course, Bulldog Hanover, who, might be the best pacer we've ever seen the way he's going right now.
I think he's got to prove. I think he has a little bit more to prove before we can say that. But, I mean, he's been absolutely spectacular, and back-to-back 46 miles. These horses, they can't go 146 every week or every single start and expect to keep it up the entire season. Eventually he's going to slow down a touch. Somebody's going to catch him. If somebody catches him here, who do you think it's going to be?
I mean, the most likely is going to be Rocky Road Hanover. And I think that even though you've seen Rocky Road Hanover not leave the last few weeks, I think he's leaving the gate. There's $500,000 on the line this week. There aren't that many $500,000 races for these older pacers. I think Todd McCarthy is going this week. The other one, maybe Tattoo Artist. He's been known to step up and can certainly go a 47-mile. The problem is, it seems you need a 46-mile to beat Bulldog. And I keep saying, he's done already what no horse in history has done. Go 246 miles. I keep saying, well, maybe this is the week. He's going to bounce. But you know what? Quite frankly, he just always looks great after the race. He never looks tired. I don't see any reason why he won't pace 46 again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all these horses are capable of pacing in the 46, 47 range, given ideal circumstances. And I agree with you that eventually he's going to bounce, and eventually not necessarily bounce in a bad way, but bounce where he doesn't have that extra kick in the stretch, and is a tick or two off his 46 mark, and gets beat. So I'm not keying him, although a lot of people are going to key him, obviously, and deservedly so. I'm going to use the Rocky Road Hanover also. I think there's obviously value to be had there. I agree with you that I don't see Todd McCarthy getting away ninth. I think he's every bit as talented, if not just doesn't have the raw speed of Bulldog Hanover, but is every bit as talented. And I think if he can work out a decent trip maybe he has the biggest kick coming home. So, I mean, I'm going to use both of them, and maybe if I'm betting the race, individually, take a stab at Rocky Road Hanover on top.
Well, I'm going to keep Bulldog Hanover, and until I see a sign of weakness, I'm going to stick with him. And we're going to move on to race number 11, which is the Gary Jr. Hambletonian Maturity, $432,000 on the line on the trot. This is also a field of 11 here. And keep in mind, they're going a mile and an eighth, so longer run into that first turn.
Yeah, this race is very, very interesting because you have the super talented mare Bella Bellini starting from the second tier, where she can't have her nose on the gate, and like you said, you have a long run on the first turn. Is a big option, big chance for her to get shuffled back, and jammed up early. You got to imagine there's going to be a ton of horses leaving forwardly placed off the gate from the outside, especially Take All Comers, Rattle My Cage, Quattro Delio, who are the three of the obvious logical contenders in here with speed from outside posts, and they're going to be forwardly placed. I'm spreading in this race, and I imagine a lot of other people's tickets are going to be spreading also. This is the one race in the sequence where you can justify spreading, I guess. So I'm going to go 5 deep. Oki Svanstedt has 4 horses in here, and I'm kind of intrigued by Ambassador Hanover, who had a big 2-year-old season, and I think he's finally showing signs of life in his 3-year-old season. And maybe if he can be forwardly placed and land somewhere mid-pack after the dust settles, and they mix it up front and they get used up front, maybe he could be a nice price option. I know that you are spreading also, and we're kind of spreading in different directions, trying to get a little bit of a price. But I'm going to go 5 deep, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 11.
Yeah, I went 4 deep in here, and with 2, 4, 8, and 9. My thought here is I'm using 3 favorites in the other 3 legs of this pick 4. For me to use both favorites in this leg would be foolish, and I think favorites being Rattle My Cage and Bella Bellini. I just don't like the way this race shapes up for Bella Bellini at all. As you said, there's going to be tons of speed from the outside of the gate. Rattle My Cage is gunning out. Quattro de Julio's got to gun out. I see her, having to figure out a way into this race. And I've seen too many of these mile and an eighth races where the outside horses gun out, everything settles on the first turn somewhere, and then they back down the opening quarter is 25 and change, and then they go 30 seconds the second quarter, and there's not as much pace as you expect there to be. So I'm going to go without Bella Bellini on my ticket. I used a $100 bill, who I think has proven that he can step up at times. You see all those earnings. He won $633,000 last year. He tends to show up at the big races. Rattle My Cage is just logical. He's been winning every week. Quattro de Julio, I think we're going to see a different effort this week. Basically took back the last time and hope for the best. The best didn't happen. This week is, if he doesn't leave, I'll be shocked. And Son of a Mystery, they took off the shoes 2 back. He broke. They put the front shoes back on. He stayed trotting, but didn't really do much. I'm taking a shot. I know the horse is talented. Maybe they'll just have him right for this start. So I went 4 deep here, 2, 4, 8, and 9. And we're going to move to the featured event on the card, the $600,000 Meadowlands Pace Final. We have a 10-horse field here, clearly led by Beach Glass. And I'm going to lead you into Beach Glass, Matt, with the replay of his elimination win, where he basically dominated.
Basically dominated is an understatement. He absolutely dominated. Once he made the front, he was able to rate a comfortable enough pace, and just under urge, not major urge, but just keeping him busy, just powering away for fun. This was a horse that I liked in the North America Cup, and he raced. He ran a solid, workmanlike effort to be second best as second choice. And you know what? Now is his opportunity to shine in the Meadowlands Pace Final. And a lot has been said about the the connections of this horse and Brent McGrath and trainer Brent McGrath, and maybe he's looking to finally come out on top in the Meadowlands Pace. We all remember what happened. Gosh, it seems like yesterday, but it was a dozen or so years ago with Some Beach Somewhere in the Meadowlands Pace. But yeah, he's done everything right, and it's difficult to make a strong case against him unless you are just don't want to take a short price. Who else can step up and win this? I'm pretty sure that you are going to end up keying your horse on your budget ticket. I went too deep, not really digging that deep to find a second choice, but I also used Nighthawk on my ticket, who I'm waiting for him to win. I keep hearing great things, and he keeps racing well, but I don't see any wins. So does he step up tonight? That would be pretty cool.
Well, we'll go back and look at the replay from last week, the second elimination where Nighthawk tried to win. He almost got there, right, Matt?
Yeah, he almost got there. You see him, Dave Miller, he was too far to come. And once he if he could stay straight, he's charging pretty fast and really fast. And it's not like the winner was wrapped up there or anything like that. So, you know what? In North America Cup, he took a lot of money, and I along with a lot of other people, I guess, were surprised that he really never entered contention. You know what? Now is a much better start for him to enter contention. He could be working out. He could be in the spot where he has that potentially golden second over trip. You know what? And does he have the most kick? It wouldn't surprise me at all. So I am going to use him. And probably, obviously he's going to be a much better value play. But I still think he's going to have a touch too far to come. If Beach Class shows up with the effort that he's showed up with every week in and week out, then, this is his moment, I think.
I don't know that we're going to get much value on Nighthawk. I think a lot of people saw that late closing effort. And what worries me about Nighthawk is the most important race of his year so far was not last time because that was the Pace of Lim, but the North America Cup final. He didn't leave the gate. Then the Meadowlands Pace of Lim, he's 1-5. It looks like, hey, this one should go down the road here. I mean, it's not like he hasn't shown speed and won on the lead before. He doesn't leave the gate. And now I'm thinking, why isn't he leaving the gate all these times? These are, especially last week when it was a spot where it was obvious, just go down the road, you're going to win this race. And he elected to play it cautious. And that has me a little bit concerned. A horse, everyone's going to focus in on what Nighthawk did and how he closed and just missed, right? I want to go back to the replay again and show you a horse that was moving much faster than Nighthawk in the late stages, in my opinion. You'll see the number 6 on the rail, last on the inside here. And driver Mike Wilder is going to angle, looking for some room. He's finally going to get it, somewhere deep stretch. He's going to get it. You're going to see Forever Boy is charging home. I mean, no legs are moving faster than his legs in deep stretch. He's the one long shot in here that I'm keyed in on. I spoke to trainer Tim Twaddle, who said he had some blood work issues, and maybe that's what caused his not so great effort in the North America Cup. I don't know if this horse is up to beating a horse like Beach Class, but what I do know is that he was moving faster than anyone else at the end of that race. He had fresh legs, and to me, that's a long shot I want to key in on. He's 10-1 on the morning line. I'll be using him, on maybe not on my pick 4 ticket because I don't know that anyone could beat Beach Class because I think he's just too multi-dimensional at this point compared to the other horses. But you could see my ticket up there. It's a $2 play. I went 4 deep in race 11. I keyed Beach Class, and I feel like Beach Class is just going to dominate this group.
I assume you're playing that for more than for 50 cents, maybe for $20 or something like that. That'd be a nice sharp ticket to have. The problem with Forever Boy is, from a tactical standpoint, he'll probably end up, in a major disadvantage, and he could stretch those fresh legs in the stretch. But you know what? Last week in the elimination, he's supposed to have fresh legs after having an easy trip. Now, I think he's just going to be too far back. He might have to get moving earlier and be used maybe in the middle half of the mile. His legs won't be as fresh. I agree that he should be closing or in contention for a board spot at some point. But from a winning standpoint, and like you said, you're not convinced he can win. But from a winning standpoint, I can't see him getting there. I went with a slightly larger play, although $10 isn't that much for a 50-cent play. I also used the aforementioned Nighthawk. You made a very valid points about not leaving the gate. How come he wasn't forwardly placed? How come he was conservatively handled in the early stages in these last few starts? That's a very valid point, but he doesn't have to be used that hard. It's not like he's got to have a wicked burst of speed off the gate to from this spot in the Meadowlands Pace final to be able to settle where Dave Miller wants to be. So obviously that tactical advantage from being inside helps immensely. I use on my ticket also with Beach Glass. Small play for $10. I will. I'm sure I'll hit it 3 or 4 more times. Repeat it, and it's race 11. I'm looking to get the 3 or the 7 maybe in what is obviously the most wide open race of the sequence.
Well, whether you like the favorite Beach Class or you don't like the favorite Beach Class, it still should be an interesting race, at least exotically. I believe there's a high 5 in there you could play. Obviously, the pick 4 ends there. I think the pick 6 ends there. There's a $75,000 guaranteed pick 4 starting in race number 5 as well. 14 great races on the card. I believe 10 of them are stakes races, free PPs up on DRF.com. And of course, 10% rebate on exotic wagers on DRF Bets. You'll want to check that out on Saturday. Good luck.